Champions Cup semi-final number one, folks, and it's Leinster who get the win. At times 13-man Leinster, but with a big old dominant scrum, winning some turnovers, they put themselves 29 points up. A little bit of a late resurgence from Toulon would have had everyone on the edge of their seats as they got within a score after seemingly having been dead and buried, the Toulon boys. But yeah, it is Leinster who will be heading to another final. We'll go through some of the key events and stats of this one. You guys can let us know your thoughts. I've watched this very much delayed. It was a 2 a.m. kickoff here in NZ. I went to sleep. Woke up. First thing is I turned on this game. I did not know the result. I didn't look anything up. No social media. No risk of spoilers. Just watch the game. Which was good because I think if I'd been spoiled, I wouldn't have been able to quite, have that edge of the seat finish myself. And I do feel like Leinster, because I went into this one thinking Leinster at home. People keep telling me they're out of sides. Oh, Leinster are going to win this one. I was pretty confident Leinster were going to win. And they maybe should have got some more points than they did, but I do think they did remarkably well during the 13-man period. To be fair, the start of this game is a little bit kind of error-ridden. Like Toulon had a tackle off the ball, penalty conceded. They knocked it on. They conceded a penalty at scrum time. Harry Byrne then proceeded to miss his first shot at goal. Jaminet had a long shot at goal, which he missed. Harry Byrne missed touch from a penalty. Then he had a really shocking touch finder. And yeah, it was just errors. Nobody was really taking the game by the scruff of the neck early, though it did feel like Leinster were in the ascendancy in terms of the traditional kind of possession and territory aspects. And they did score first. It took 12 minutes. Jack Conan managed to finish off a nice bit of Leinster pressure. Quick ball's the key for Leinster, isn't it? When they can get quick ball and the other opposition forwards have not got time to set, that's when Leinster will punish you, and that's what they did. Van der Vliet on the blind side. Conan finishes at close range, 7 points to nil. It's converted. Byrne finds his kicking boots. And to be fair, it started many phases or minutes earlier with Leinster winning a turnover, which is something that Toulon wasn't really able to do in this game, but Leinster were doing kind of, reasonably regularly. So, 7 points to nil. Leinster are up. Then we get Robbie Henshaw totally KO'd, which was a brutal one because he was sprawled on the ground. I haven't looked up because I've been, as I said, avoiding all social media. I hope he's all right. But it was a horrible collision that saw him totally knocked out. We had a long stoppage as the medical team did their thing. But yeah, fingers crossed he's all right. He's replaced by Osborne. And then Toulon get themselves on the board. Kind of, I don't want to say against the run of play, but they were taking their opportunities, put it that way. It's not like they were camped down Leinster's end, but penalty, 7 points to 3. Leinster looked to reply with a try, but it gets TMO'd. There was a lot of TMO for that one. They had to check if Rico's feet were in touch. They were ever so slightly not in touch. And then Gibson Park, who had gone over for a sniping try, just ruled to have knocked it on at the base of the ruck. So, yeah, a bit of a get out of jail for the Toulon boys with that try being chalked off. And then despite more Leinster pressure, it's Toulon to get the next points with another penalty. So 7 points to 6. Jaminet's boot makes it a 1-point game. Although Josh van der Vliet stepped up once again to resume the re-establish that kind of arm's length Leinster lead. For some reason that needed a TMO check. I guess Luke Pearce just wasn't in the right position, but that was a try all day. And I guess it's a semi-final. They want to make double the ultra sure of bloody everything, but none of the officials saw a very clear try grounded quickly. I mean, it was a quick tap, and it goes back to a quick tap, which Leinster loves, right? Van der Vliet powers over, but it goes back to really a Harry Byrne cross kick for Dan Sheehan, although it was Tuisuvu, the Toulon winger, who caught it. Decided not to mark it. I guess, if I'm overthinking it, maybe Tuisuvu thought, if I catch this, and I'm up against Dan Sheehan, I can burn him and I'm potentially gone. But he didn't mark it, so he then put his foot in touch and it becomes a Leinster line-out. So it was a kind of a soft one from a Toulon perspective to be conceding that opportunity for Leinster to attack, which results in a try. Like if he just marks that, Toulon kick it up the field and who knows what happens. But yeah, you can't give Leinster opportunities in year 22. Porto then copped the yellow card on 35 minutes in the same process as Leinster are getting warned for too many penalties conceded. It's a high tackle. So it's a yellow card and a Toulon immediately punished. Immediately punished. Tuisuvu, the man who I was just mentioning, he finishes it off as they start to get quick ball of their own and shift the ball left. Nice change of direction. Tuisuvu goes over, and Byrne then cops a yellow card for being offsides. That yellow card warning, which was unrelated to the high tackle, still carries over. Luke Pearce pulls the trigger on that one, so we're 15 players against 13. And that's got the potential to get pretty hairy. A two-man advantage. But this is the period I feel like if you're a Toulon fan, this is where you didn't win the game. And if you're a Leinster fan, like, this is where your team really stepped up. 13 men, that's no joke. But their scrum managed to get themselves a penalty, so they go into the sheds, I guess, to kind of take a breather. I feel like they could have maybe wasted a bit more time during the double yellow card. Maybe kick for touch, win the line out, and then kick it out. But I guess it's just higher risk, isn't it? But you're going to have to play the same risk once you resume from halftime anyway. I might have thought just go down the other end and waste more time. Like, at least hitting the line out's going to waste 30 seconds of the yellow cards, because every second of yellow card wasted is 2 seconds, kind of, because it's double yellow card time, right? But anyway, that's just me sitting from my couch telling them what to do. Which they didn't do, and it worked out all right for them anyway. Second half starts, and 13-man Leinster. 13-man Leinster putting the squeeze on Toulon. It was quite incredible. Like, Keenan went very close to a try, and then Bobby Nee gets yellow carded for a high shot on Van der Fleer. So the yellow card period ends up all right. It ends up being 14 against 13. We're almost at rugby league if the Toulon guys had got themselves one more yellow card, but they did not. But 13-man Leinster managed to score. It was kind of a bit of a fortuitous one because it was a bounce pass which wasn't designed to go that way to Ringrose, but he's Johnny on the spot. He goes over for the try, so 19 points to 11. Starting to get a bit more comfortable. Another scrum penalty for Leinster makes it 22-11. Really starting to look good, although you feel like the Toulon bench, when they came on, because they immediately won themselves a scrum penalty, did add a little bit more maybe than what we saw from Leinster, although Leinster were having to bring on guys earlier due to injuries and HIAs. And like Rico had gone off, I think, for an HIA at one point at the end of the first half when he'd been hit. He thought high, referee said it wasn't high, it was shoulder on shoulder, all that kind of jazz. So, yeah, 22-11, missed penalty from Byrne on 60 minutes, but playing down the right end of the field, you felt like Leinster. At 22-11, you're at home, you should be able to hold on here. And then they do more than hold on when Doris goes over on 66 minutes. Doris was immense. He was carrying for days. I mean, so was Porter when he was on. I mean, Leinster forwards, Conan, really Van der Fleer getting through a lot of work. So we're at 29-11. 29-11 is dead and buried. Dead and buried. Surely there's no way back into Toulon for this game. Well, as I said, the bench, I think, paid off. Like, it paid some dividends. Serrano managed to get one. Seemingly too easy. I think Leinster will be upset with that one when they look back at this in review. It's just line out, second phase. After a line out, Serrano just snipes 29 points to 18, and then it's all Toulon. Somehow they're getting all the pressure going. Albonoz cross kick to Dreon. He beats Prendergast and then goes over Gibson Park, 29-25. Enough time for that squeaky bum finish. But Leinster are able to hold on. Rico had a nice tackle as Dreon was looking to kind of cut the Leinster guys up. Knock on for Toulon. And yeah, Leinster are able to hang on. So they shouldn't have been in a position where they had to hang on. But like I said, you got to give credit to Toulon's bench for really changing a bit of the kind of late momentum in the game. Some stats for you. Line breaks is 8-2 to Toulon, which maybe highlights, I guess, the difference. Like, guys like Jaminet and, Dreon were getting their hands a bit more on the ball than guys like Rico and, Tommy O'Brien, who's maybe biggest highlights of the game. Like, Tommy O'Brien put in a smashing hit in the first half. Rico had a couple of, kind of clutch tackles. But that's not really why you want your wingers in the action. But anyway, turnovers one was 4-0 to Leinster. Penalties conceded was 12-7 against Toulon, and 5 of those were Sinclair and Jean-Baptiste Gros. So the starting props for Toulon were certainly getting pinged. Leinster controlled the possession, but more so the territory, 59-41. individuals. Caelan Doris, 20 carries, 4 defenders beaten. The guy was everywhere. Andrew Porter, like I said, winning scrum penalties and, making big carries and whatnot. He was very immense as well. Jaminier had 9 defenders beaten. Dreon had 8. But yeah, it is Leinster who will head to the Champions Cup final. Who will they play? We'll find out tomorrow. But yeah, cracking game. You guys let us know your thoughts on it. If you want to subscribe to the channel, do that, because we'll be talking some more Champions Cup, URC, Super Rugby, all the rugby. You guys take care, and I will talk to you guys again soon. See you later.